Hello and welcome to the Intermission podcast. We're Dallas Sports Podcast. I'm Fabian. That's Isaiah. Welcome. We're gonna have a pretty fun time today, as we do always. What do we got?
We might have like a pretty chill episode today. We're gonna start talking with the Stars or about the Stars. Then we're gonna move on to the Mavs and their disappointing end to the season. Then we're gonna move on to the Rangers, and the last thing we'll talk about is the Cowboys and how we think we did in their first round of the NFL draft.
Yeah.
Um,
We're gonna hop straight into the Stars then, right?
Yeah.
So Stars obviously started their playoff series with the Avalanche, and it's going pretty well so far. We're 3 games through. Have another game this coming Saturday. We lost our first game 5-1, but don't let that scoreline fool you. This game was much better than a 5-1 game. We were close most of the game. We lost it towards the end. Once we pulled our goal, he scored an empty netter, then they scored another one. But defense was much better than it had been the games leading up to the playoffs. And overall, it wasn't a bad game of hockey, even though the last 5 minutes made it seem that way. This game really gave me hope for the future. If you recall, I predicted Stars in 6, we lose the first game. I stand by that. Game 2, still in Dallas. We win in overtime. A good back and forth game. They had the lead going into the third. We tied it up and then got the game-winning goal in overtime. Real good game, real good back and forth. And Otter, amazing goalie. Like I said, we have so many players. We have so many players that are so good that can and will step up when they need to. And so, Sagan's had himself a series so far. That overtime goal by Blackwell was such a hustle goal. He shot, there was a rebound, and he completely shifted his momentum to go and chase that shot, get his own rebound, and sink the goal. It was amazing. Daddy had a great goal in the third period. Look, this is a good team, and I'm happy that stuff is going our way. Again, Otter played an amazing game. Just a menace between the sticks, dude. Otter is such a good goalie. People that complain about Ottinger are brain dead. Okay, he's one of the best goalies in the AHL. And the only reason he isn't that statistically is because our defense has been so bad. But Otter is amazing and beautiful, and I love him, and you should too. And then game 3, real close game. We were tied 1-1 for a decent chunk of it. Ended up going to overtime. And, excuse me. Ended up going into overtime where, first of all, it ended with a pretty ticky-tacky, I think, penalty.
what was the penalty?
It was on Marchment, but it was a double minor. So maybe I'm crazy, but I remember being like, "Yeah, that wasn't a penalty." But maybe I was just sleepy. It was late. I hate West Coast. It's not even West Coast. Why the heck does hockey game start so late? It pisses me off. We're both in Central Standard Time. We're going past 12 in regulation. It's ridiculous. But irregardless, once again, Ottinger had an amazing game. We tied it up in the third period after they were leading most of the game with Jamie Benn on a power play. And then after that, their goal in the first half of the first period, Otter, amazing, beautiful game. And then in overtime, again, we went into that with, first of all, good penalty kill, as always, from the Stars. But in overtime, we started with that Colorado on a power play. And an absolutely insane, ridiculous save from Essa Lindell to save the game. Like, a thing of beauty, dude. It was the penalty kill had been so good. Most of that because of Essa Lindell. I think they said he played 4 of the 6 penalty minutes, which is insane. um, power penalty kill minutes, which is insane. And so Lindell, after a great penalty kill in the last 6 seconds, Avalanche had us on the ropes, put a shot towards Audie, rebounded, blocked, another one blocked, and then they had open net. Esa Lindell skates in there and becomes the goalie for a second, saves the game. And then not too long after that, Mason Marchment, making up for getting that penalty, had an amazing play, skated into the zone, did some wicky-wacky, goofy, made him look goofy. Amazing assist straight to Sagan, sunk it. So that's Sagan's second goal of the series. And man, was it a pretty one. Marchment's assist on that one was beautiful. And I want to point out, again, prior to the playoffs, we hadn't outshot an opponent or even had the same amount of shots since February, I believe 3rd, maybe 13th. But I believe it was 3rd. I haven't checked again since I said that stat, but I know we haven't outshot since then. These last two games, obviously they went into overtime. But we had one more shot attempt in this game 2 than them before overtime. Then we ended with the same amount of shots. And in game 3, they had, I think, 1 or 2 more shot attempts than us at the end of regulation. And then we ended the game with the same amount of shots. So the defense has stepped up. Esa Lindell and Harley, holy boy. They've really stepped up, and we should get Miro back soon. Miro Heiskanen went on the road trip, so there's a chance he plays tomorrow. I don't think he will. I think he'll come back game 5, but there's a chance he plays tomorrow. And then Robertson might be coming back later in the series too. If not, he'll be back for next series. But their defense has been playing well, and Otter's been playing out of his mind. It's only going to get better when Miro comes. So I stand by exactly what I said. Stars in 6. We lost the first game. And I think maybe we drop one more, but we win this series. I feel pretty confident about that. Stars have been playing pretty great against the Avalanche. Any questions?
No, but I will say, after seeing the first score of the first game, I was like, I saw it 5-1, and I was like, no way the Stars are gonna lose like that bad. No way the series is gonna be that bad.
No.
And then
It was a good game. And the thing, again, it was a good game, and then it just got away from like the last 5 minutes. But yeah.
Yeah, but then the next 2 games, I was like, I was a little concerned because they kept going back into overtime.
Yeah.
So like back-to-back games that went back into overtime, and then didn't really like the
Unfortunately, that's just how the Stars roll, baby.
As long as they're winning in overtime, then I guess I don't mind it.
Yeah.
But that is still a little scary though, that we do have to almost depend on overtime to win.
Definitely. I don't think.
I mean, not depending on it, but
Yeah,
it's just scary that
it goes there.
yeah.
I mean, we were trailing in both of these games. Ended up scoring a third period goal to take it into overtime, then winning in overtime. But I think we played. I think we deserved to win those games. It's not like, can I say, in game 1, their first goal. What a ridiculous lucky goal! I don't know if you saw it,
No.
but it was a shot to Otter and hit Otter, rebounded, went straight back to him. But he was actively getting hit, and the puck went at his foot, and he accidentally kicked it, and it went over Otter into the goal. Insanely lucky goal. I can't believe that was how they scored their first goal. But, or any goal was scored that way.
That's not.
But it's, like, I lost my train of thought because I remembered that.
Was that really set the tone for the first game?
Yeah, kind of. They got that lucky goal, and then they never really, they got a little bit of control, and we couldn't really get it back. But, this is what I was gonna say. Like,
Okay.
yeah, we went into overtime, but we deserve to win these games. It's
Yeah.
not like these are fluke wins. Like, it's been super competitive, and that's why we took it to overtime. It's not like a fluke goal. Oh, we had by chance went to overtime and then got a lucky goal in overtime.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes that happens. It's sports. That's happened sometimes. But no, both these games were super competitive, and if they won, they would have deserved to win just as much as we did. But it was if whatever team won deserved to win. And the point of the matter is, we're the team that won, so we deserve to win. But I mean, like, again, the only reason we won that last game, Game 3, is because of S. Lindell's insane save at the end of that power play for the Avalanche. So, I mean, it's the playoffs, and so there's gonna be heroics in every series, but that's gonna be one that's talked about. No matter how far we make it into the playoffs, that's gonna be one that's talked about. Doesn't stay saved by S. Lindell. And then Otter's performance in every game, always, dude. Otter is such a good player and such a good goalie. So, yeah.
Bright future for the Stars.
Bright future for the Stars, yeah.
For the rest of the series too.
Bright present for the Stars, okay? The shooting stars. We got the Finnish Mafia. Dude, we're chilling. I mean, Granny hasn't really gotten he's got an assist in this last game. But I mean, look, Harles has been so good. Look, Jamie, Ben, and Sagan. Sagan's got 2 goals. Ben got 1 in this last game. After coming back from injury, he was with his kid. It's just, come on, dude. Come on. The whole team. It's just, again, like I was talking about this with my sister the other day. It's like we have so many, because like most teams have their number 1 guy, and we do too, except for our number 1 guy is a revolving door. Because like for this period of games, Johnston's our number 1 guy. This period of games, Rupe Hint's our number 1 guy. This period of games, it's Jason Robertson. So like we have so many guys that can, and especially in the playoffs, will step up to score when they need to be clutch. Even Sagan and Ben, our vets, they can step up and they can do what they need to do to get these points. Like they have the capacity to be the motor of an offense. And so as long as we have one of our guys going at full power, we have everyone else there that can and will assist them, help them move it forward. And so at that point, it's just about the offense and our fucking brick wall in between the sticks named Jake Ottinger, dude. And I feel as long as we have that guy, I'm confident that we have a chance in every game. But yeah, so we're up 2-1 in the series. Next game Saturday, still in Colorado. And we'll see where it goes, but I feel pretty confident that my original prediction's going to be good. And I think we'll move to the Mavericks. Let's cut the fat. Let's move to the Mavericks. He's less happy than I am.
Well, yeah, of course, every Maverick fan is unhappy.
Yes.
Especially the way they lost to.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
With a game they could have won.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you. But man, when that game started, the Grizzlies got off to a good start.
Yeah.
I mean, at first I was like, that's all right. The Mavericks could stick to that plan, which I really thought they actually were going to target Edie. What I saw, they did not target Edie at all. I saw that Gafford and Lively were almost in foul trouble because of Edie. Or not just because of Edie, but, you know, they were supposed to put Edie in foul trouble, which was supposed to make Jaren Jackson's job a little more harder. I was disappointed though in PJ Washington.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah. I mean, everyone's making fun of him.
Even if he scored like 15 points, that would have been all right. It wouldn't have hurt that much. But he couldn't hit anything. He had 5 fouls and 0 points, I think.
Yeah.
I expected more from PJ Washington. I really thought he would have caught fire in like the second half of the game, but it didn't happen.
Well, he didn't even have the chance to. I think he had 5 fouls in the first half, so Jason Kidd was too scared to play him, and he was too scared to play rough because he was gonna foul out.
Yeah, which I mean, I mean, it makes sense, but that's the last, like, supposedly the last game of the season. So why wouldn't you just try to play out there, but try not to foul as much?
Yeah.
And I mean, you have 6 fouls. You can try to, or I wouldn't say try to foul out other people, but but like how I said that they should go at 80
Mm-hmm.
for getting him in foul trouble.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see anything from that from our bigs. Anthony Davis was spotted up for threes most of the time. I didn't like that.
I mean, you got 40 points.
Well, yeah, but I still don't like whenever
A big man.
a 7-footer is spotting up for 3.
Yeah.
Maybe like toward the end of the shot clock, and then they go out for the 3. That's all right. I'd say maybe because it's toward the final few seconds of the shot clock, and if they have to throw up a 3, then I don't mind him spotting up for a 3.
Mm-hmm.
But if that's like the whole play, which is what I saw,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like that.
No.
And then I know he wasn't technically the center, but I still expected there to be more post game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's like, is that not the idea with having AD and Derek Lively?
Yeah, and then sorry, but it also was funny though how like the whole game they were showing Nico Harrison.
He tried not to look at the camera so hard.
And then everyone's like, "Oh, so much for defense wins championships," and they were getting blown out the whole game by like 20-something points.
Yeah.
The whole game. I think at one point the third quarter was like Mavericks losing by 25 points.
Yeah, then we had like a 16-2 run or something.
Yeah, when that happened, I actually thought I was actually that delusional Mavs fan that was like, "We're gonna win this game."
You gotta be, especially in the playoffs. You gotta be the delusional fan.
What was a playing game? Mavericks still missed the playoffs technically.
The postseason, I guess.
Mavericks still technically missed the playoffs.
Yeah, we did.
Klay Thompson started off hot a little bit, and then like almost every other game, lost it in the middle of the game, and then hit like a few big buckets, and then or a few big buckets, but they were still getting blown out. But
yeah. B. Willie though, he played decent.
yeah, Brandon Williams was good.
Yeah, he led us in assists.
Did he? I forgot. Did he play that much?
I don't know. I know he led us in assists with 7.
Let me see. Let me look at his minutes real quick. Where is okay?
But yeah, like
22 minutes.
Go ahead.
22 minutes. I don't know. I feel like as a coach though. I feel like as a coach, Jason Kidd would have saw that PJ wasn't really scoring as much, and foul trouble. So, I mean, that's probably what he did was keep Brandon Williams in.
Yeah.
And then Spencer Dinwiddie not really doing anything either.
Mm-mm.
I would have just kept Brandon Williams in.
Yeah.
Brandon Williams, I would have let him play the whole game. Maybe hit like 30-something minutes.
Sure. What was I gonna say? Like, because for me, the whole thought process of we got AD, we got Derek Lively, we got Dinwiddie, Washington Jr., and Najee Marshall, a whole bunch of height.
Yeah.
For me, the idea is like what I figured is Nico Harrison's master plan viewpoint.
The defense was the link that the Mavericks have.
Yeah, it was the link, and well, even for the offense, like, is it not just completely dominating in the paint is the goal of this team?
Yeah.
And yeah, you didn't play with that game plan at all.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
I understand, like, the Memphis has some bigs too, but like, still, you got to play your game. You can't let them keep you from playing your game before you even try to play your game.
And then especially with because the Mavericks, they switch a lot, or like on offense they'll try to switch defenders, to get those good
mismatches.
Yeah, that would have been perfect for Edey and Jaren Jackson. But because the Mavericks don't really have that true point guard now, or because of Kyrie,
because he's injured.
Yeah, because Kyrie's injured, and then they thought it was a good idea to trade one of the best players in the NBA.
Quentin, guys.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, because really no true point guard.
Oh yeah, Luka Doncic. Yeah.
Because they had no true point guard. Maybe they just weren't doing it as much, and I didn't like that.
Yeah, I think you just got to play your game no matter what.
Yeah.
Though.
You obviously do change it up when it's not working, but
You
you still
try
give it a chance.
Yeah, I didn't even try it. It's insane.
There was something else I wanted to say to you.
I got something I want to say.
Yeah, what you guys say?
The Mavs officially have the 11th best odds at the number 1
Oh.
draft pick after a tiebreaker. So there's that. Instead of the 12th, we have the 11th. And then I guess another thing I want to say is both Adam Silver, that's his name, right? The NBA commissioner.
Yeah.
Well, Adam Silver and Rick Welts, the Maverick CEO, very, very much said, hey, we're not moving the Mavericks out of Dallas. You guys are crazy. We're going to stay in Dallas. After the AAC is done in 2031, we want another arena in Dallas. They said, Rick Welts said they're going to look in Dallas before they look out in another part of the Metroplex. And I'm just hoping that we can trust the millionaires, the billionaires. And then, Adam Silver said they're not moving out of Dallas. They're not moving to Vegas. There's no ulterior motives behind the Luka Doncic trade, which makes it worse. But, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I guess there's some good news.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of Hopingville, too, we also got to hope that Kyrie will want to stay at least 1 or 2 more seasons.
Yeah, he's got the player option.
And I mean,
Nico Harrison in his press conference was pretty confident.
oh, yeah.
Like, he was like, I know we'll have Kyrie next season. He said that like 2 or 3 times. And hopefully he's not,
hopefully to him, Kyrie's in shape.
Yeah, and hopefully he's like actually believes that and actually thinks that that's the case and he's not just trying to save face.
Well, I mean,
we need Kyrie now, dude.
Yeah. But I even saw that even if Kyrie stays,
he's injured for the first half of the season.
Yeah, he might not. There's a possibility that he might not be back until the end of All-Star weekend.
Yeah.
And then we have Anthony Davis, who's known for
injured,
being made of glass.
Yep.
So I don't think the Mavericks will have a good season next season either.
No.
Which sucks because they made it to the NBA Finals last season.
I don't know. Look, it's an if and a big if. But if everyone is healthy, we have a roster. We do have some of the best role players in the NBA. I believe that.
Yeah, they do.
So it's just if AD and Kyrie are healthy, then I think we're there.
Yeah, and there's no doubt. There's no doubt that if Kyrie was healthy, Mavericks would have won.
Oh yeah, we
against the Grizzlies.
Memphis, dude.
Yeah, because the Mavericks just looked lost without having that number 1 ball handler.
Yeah, absolutely.
PJ Washington can't really handle the ball.
Mm-mm.
I mean, they can all dribble. They're just not good at ball protection.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's what I wanted to talk about too. Ja Morant had a field day with the Mavericks.
He sure did.
And it's funny because I was praising PJ and Najee for their defense, their perimeter defense.
Mm-hmm.
And Ja and Desmond Bain dropped 20-something apiece.
I don't know. I know Ja got a triple-double, but...
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Ja Morant and Desmond Bain hit 20-something points.
Yeah.
And that sucked. But I'm just real disappointed that I didn't see much post game being played, and I thought with having 3 bigs, 3 people at 7 or just a little over 7 foot, that would have been the Mavs plan.
Mm-hmm.
It's just disappointing to see that. Just disappointing to see that they didn't do that at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is crazy though how the Mavericks did beat Sacramento 120 to 106, and the Mavericks lost this game 106 to 120.
Yeah,
That's kind of crazy.
a little bit.
But I did want to say this. I know we're jumping back and forth between the game and then the future of the Mavericks.
No, I mean this is what the
But,
game is. This is what.
No, but like that press conference that
Yeah.
they had with Nico.
Hmm?
I don't know if you. I didn't know if you felt the same way, but you could almost predict what Nico was going to say.
Yeah.
His answers were the same thing he was saying ever since the Luka trade.
Yeah, it's very predictable. And then I want to say, part of the reason that was is because he didn't answer the second layer of the question.
Yeah.
Like, reporters would be like, what's this and what's this? Like, building on top of the first part of the question. He'd only answer the first part of the question. And it's like, I mean, that's cool, but, like, I want to know the second part of the question more. We just answer the first part and then move on.
And then what was it when they were saying they were talking about Luka and he was saying if they said something
He said that's not fair. Luka's not on this team anymore.
and he said he had no ill will. He didn't talk bad about Luka.
Yeah.
And I was like, I heard that and I was like, he's the main one that said it's because of Luka's weight and his bad habits that they traded Luka.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
and there's just a bunch of stuff coming out about how he hired his friend as the trainer who didn't even have the proper certifications, and then well, guess what? We had a trillion injuries this season. I wonder why. And yeah.
Oh yeah, then there was talk about actually the Mavericks actually looking into actually parting ways with Nico too. I don't know if that's really sure or not,
that's
but
happening. At least not this season.
yeah, no. But they did. I did hear that that was actually a real possibility.
Mm-hmm.
And I see some people trying to defend him too.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like, yes, he did bring in PJ Washington and Gafford. But I do agree with other people too that all that is voided if you trade like one of the best players and then the season completely falls to the ground.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much. Like, that's the thing. He was a good GM before this season, but like he had his hiccups, like with the stuff with what's his?
I think they said. I think he was there for when Jalen Brunson, right?
Yeah, with Jalen Brunson.
I heard that was mainly Mark Cuban too.
Yeah, like he had his hiccups, but like he's the guy that brought in Kyrie, he brought in these guys, he brought in Clay. You know, that trade's sort of 50-50, but I think
it worked good because he was around Kyrie and Luka.
Yeah.
So they could have picked up his shooting slack.
Yeah. Like that's the thing. He was a good GM before this. So, like, that's why I feel even stronger. Like, was there something happening up front?
Yeah. Like, maybe he really thought he had to prove he was a good general manager, which is kind of...
Yeah.
Which is weird
You
because...
just went to the finals.
Yeah.
Did you not just prove that? And everyone was like, this is a great team. Like, I don't know, dude.
Yeah, that's why I'm still in the belief that...
There's something
personal something personal between him and Luka that really made him want that.
Yeah.
But I guess we can move on to the Rangers now.
Let's move on to the Rangers. The Rangers had a tough week. We lost to the Dodgers at home. They lost the series 2-1. As I predicted, or I guess 1-2. They won 2. We won 1. So we didn't get swept. Game 1 we lost, I believe 3-0. Let me double check that. It's the truth. Game 1 we lost 3-0. Game 2 we won 4-3 thanks to a walk-off walk-off home run from Adolis Garcia. That guy knows how to pimp a home run, I tell you. And then we lost game 3 1-0. Pathetic. Are you kidding? Like, I mean, again, I said the sentence, and it's just true. I mean, even the game 3-0, that's not
crazy score, but I said a sentence. We might end up pulling out 2 victories because of how good our pitching is. Pitching held them to 1 run. We couldn't get a single run. And then the most momentum we had was in the fucking bottom of the 9th. And Josh Young hits a ball to third, says, "Oh, that went foul," and decides not to run it out. That wouldn't have been a double play if Josh Young runs it out. And we have another chance at bringing in 1 run. We just needed 1 run to tie it. Instead, he does that, gets thrown out a second, or gets double played on, and the game ends. So it's just real, and I mean, Josh Young just can't do that. I know he's a younger guy. Hopefully he learns his lesson with that, but that was embarrassing. That was bad. And then just as a team, like, it's so, like, as a pitcher, it sucks so much when you pitch such an amazing game. And the whole pitching staff, the starter, and then the bullpen, where they only scored 1 run the whole game, and you still lose because your team's offense is bad. And then we went to Sacramento. Moving on. Then we went to Sacramento for the A's. We won the first game 8-5. Bruce Bochy brought in a new lineup. Josh Smith is leading off now. I believe Marcus Simeon's batting 5th. He brought in a little bit different of lineup, and guess what? First game with that lineup, we scored 8 runs, beat the A's 8-5. It's our most runs we've scored all season. Immediately after that, though, game 2, we lost 5-2. Kumar Rocker had a really rough outing, allowed 5 runs in the first 2 innings. We never came back from that. But in the top of the 9th, Jock finally got a hit, ending an 0-41 streak. So he's not gonna reach Chris Martin, thank God. But he's got to get hitting more still. But hey, he got a hit. Good for him. And we scored 2 runs in that game, and then we just lost a game last night, Thursday night, 4-3 after a blown save by Luke Jackson in the bottom of the 9th, but also part of that so we were up 3-2 going in the bottom of the 9th, and then a runner was on second. Luke Jackson, they made contact, hit it to Tavares. It was gonna be a hit. Tavares misfields it, and instead of a hit, it's a double with an RBI instead of a single with runners on first and third. Runner scores, and there's someone on second now in scoring position. Then the next guy comes up, gets a hit, also to center field, and guess what? Now it's the game-winning run instead of the game-tying run. So really bad error from Tavares there. Really bad error from Tavares there. There's nothing much else to say. It's the reason they were able to be in the position they were to win the game. There's a decent chance they would have tied it, huh?
They could have won that game too.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we were winning the whole game off of a 1 inning where we hit 3 solo home runs. But
Yeah.
I mean, still, I think that's Langford, Heim, and Tavares. But like, there's a decent chance they would have tied it and we would have gotten extras. Who knows what happens there? But Tavares with that error didn't even give us a chance to do that. But it happens. That's baseball. C'est la vie. But you can't have those kinds of errors, especially in close games and tight games. Especially when you're playing Sacramento, you're playing the A's. We gotta beat the A's. Come on. A couple more notes. The Rangers injuries. Jack Leiter's still out. He should be going to AAA Round Rock to do some rehab. Should come back soonish. Corey Seager was put on a 10-day IL with a hamstring strain. That's unfortunate, but it shouldn't be. It's not a major injury, so he should be back also soonish. 10 days at least he's gonna be off, but shouldn't be too bad. And then Kumar Rocker, after his tough performance where they scored 5 runs in 2 innings, had a right shoulder problem, sort of like a nagging pain type thing. Put on 15-day IL. Hopefully it's nothing serious, but right now we don't really know. But yeah, hopefully it's nothing serious. Kumar Rocker just needs some time off, and he'll come back and keep being himself. But that's tough. In general, though, our offense is doing a little better, especially the series against Sacramento, against the A's. But that's also the A's, so I think that might just be because they're not the best at pitching.
So I don't know how I feel about that, but I do like the new lineup a lot better than the old one. And again, hopefully we get some bats going. Rangers are 14-11. We're tied with Seattle now for first place of the AL West, and like have the tied for the second best record in the AL in general. But definitely not where we want to be. So close to 500. So this was a tough series lost here against the Dodgers and then Sacramento, especially this one against Sacramento. Again, I predicted we would win the series 2-1, lose the game because our offense was so bad. We lost one game because our offense was so bad. Well, actually, none of these games really because of our offense, but still, we ended up losing 2 of the games. So came out of the road trip, or not even a road trip, but came out of this week with 2 wins and 4 losses. So that hurts the record a lot. Moving on to next week, starting tonight, we're going to be in San Francisco playing the Giants. They're pretty good right now. They're 17 and 17 and 9, I think. 17, I believe 17 and 9. So this is gonna be a tough game, tough series. I think we lose this series. Our offense still hasn't woken up nearly enough. I think we lose this series, but because our pitching is so great, which it has continued to be great this last week, it continued to be great. Again, like I predicted, amazing pitching battles in that series against the Dodgers, and just our offense isn't good enough to win pitching battles. You got the shields but not the weapons, so you're going to be losing a lot of pitching battles. Sort of the same thing here with the Giants. We might win. I think we win 1 game, so I think we come out of the 3-game series with 1 win, 2 losses, and then I'm hoping we bounce back against the A's. And we're going to have him here in Arlington for a 4-game series. Official prediction for me is 3 wins, 1 loss. I think since we're at home, we'll take care of business. And again, we had real close games and a better offense against the A's. So I think when we're at home, we'll take care of business and our pitching will continue to be good and good enough to beat the A's, hopefully. Obviously, these were an unfortunate series loss this last series, but I think we beat them at home especially. So we should at least be 3 wins, 1 loss in that series. Yeah. Any questions?
No, I mean,
Baseball?
pretty disappointing games too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I expected the Rangers to do better than these last 2 games they did.
Yeah. These last 2 games against the A's were tough. I mean, especially losing this last game on Friday or on Thursday, the way we did. Just unfortunate losing it in the bottom of the 9th. I mean, Kumar Rucker got rocked because of a shoulder injury thing. And that's unfortunate. So he couldn't really come back from that 5-0 deficit. But yeah, especially this game 3 was a real rough loss. And yeah, it's unfortunate to have to share the AL West with the Seattle right now. We really want to come out of this next week with a winning record. Hopefully take the top spot in the AL West back. That's really all I got, though. So we're going to move on to the Cowboys. Cowboys actually have stuff happening this week. Like last week we did our mock drafts. Do you remember who we chose? I don't. But the Cowboys stayed at 12th. No trade ups, no trade backs. And we ended up choosing Tyler Brooks. That's his name, right?
Tyler Booker.
Tyler Booker. I'm sleepy. Blame him. Tyler Booker, my fault. Yeah, we ended up choosing Tyler Booker. He's a offensive guard from Oregon.
Alabama.
Why do you think he was from Oregon? I was so confident about that. From Alabama. Yeah, and we were both pretty happy with this pick. We live streamed the draft, or at least day 1. We're not gonna live stream the rest of it. But we live streamed day 1, and if you were watching, you saw we were pretty relieved, pretty happy.
There's a bunch of Cowboy fans though that are not happy because I think they were expecting a receiver
Yeah.
picked first round, and I think that's
Boom.
yeah.
Yeah, if
that's
you watched last
that's
week's
dumb.
episode, we really didn't want a receiver, especially in the first round. We're saying second round at the highest, but really third round at the highest. And so we're really happy with this. We were really
Yeah.
expecting the Cowboys to draft a receiver, and we were both ready to be mad. And then they took Tyler Booker,
Yeah, we're surprised.
and we were happy, man. We were surprised. We were happy.
Surprised the Cowboys actually did a good thing.
Yeah, for real. And I mean, I think we need this offensive line. You know, we have so many pieces leaving, retiring. So I think this is a really good pickup, honestly.
Now I think for the second round, now I really think they should target a good running back.
Yep.
And if not, I'd say probably another linebacker.
Yeah, it's Travion Henderson or bust, and the bust is a run-stopping linebacker or a run-stopping defensive lineman. You know, we had this in our mock draft too, but
Yeah.
I really, unfortunately, Omarion Hampton didn't even make it to the second round. He got picked by the Chargers at 24th, I think, or 23rd, which is unfortunate, but that's the way it goes. We didn't expect to get Omarion Hampton, so hopefully we get Travion Henderson drops to us. We get a decent running back. I like Omarion Hampton a lot more, but I think Travion Henderson still has a bunch of potential. So hopefully we end up with that guy after the second. But if not, a good run stopper. So we need a linebacker, defensive lineman. That'll really slow down the opponent's run game because that's a big weakness in our defense.
Yeah, if we're not able to get a running back, I think that'll be a little it'll be a little scary. But if we do end up getting a good defensive piece again,
Mm-hmm.
I'll be okay with it.
Yeah.
Because if our defense is good, I mean, like what Nico said, defense wins championships, and maybe this defense can actually prove it.
Defense championships, yeah.
I mean, Cowboys actually got to make it to the championship though too. But
Yeah. And then again, I'm good with a third round wide receiver.
yeah,
If they really feel like we need a wide receiver, I'm chill with a third, fourth, or fifth round wide receiver.
yeah, later receivers, I'm okay with. I just thought it was a waste of a first round to draft a receiver
I agree.
when we have decent
CD.
receivers already.
Yeah. We have CeeDee Lamb, and then we have two wide receiver threes, and like 2.5. You know, Jonathan Mingo can be something. But really, you know, we got Tolbert and Turpin.
Yeah,
And they're capable enough. And yeah, it'd be nice to have another good young guy. So I'm cool getting a later receiver. But really, we don't need a first round receiver. And so I'm glad we didn't get one. People were so mad we didn't take Golden from Texas, but Matthew Golden. But I'm
Man.
so happy we did. We went to
go watch the live stream if you really wanted to see how relieved we were.
yeah.
I don't even think we showed it. We just said how
Yeah,
relieved we were.
it was just the lack of anger. Because I think I was so ready to be mad. I was and so surprised that I wasn't. I just sort of
Yeah.
leaned back and I was just like, we did it.
Cowboys actually I think this is a good sign.
Yeah, I think so.
Good sign for the Cowboys draft.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Hopefully they'll continue to keep making the right moves. I just think it's a rare win for the Cowboys on draft day.
Yeah. And this
Or,
draft.
I mean, I guess not really a rare win, but I mean,
Yeah, I mean, we drafted pretty decently, but it's I don't know.
just surprised the Cowboys like did the right thing this time.
Yeah.
Didn't disappoint.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
But
And overall, the draft was, I mean, like some of the stuff was really predictable, but then some weird stuff happened. Like the
Yeah.
Broncos and Steelers picks really surprised me. Like really surprised me. I wasn't expecting those. The
But-
Giants trading back into the first round was really weird to me. What were you
for
gonna say?
Jackson Dart,
Yeah, for Jackson Dart. They could have just had him in the second round.
the Eagles trading up 2-1 spot.
Yeah, to get Jahad Campbell.
or Walker.
The trade that really did surprise me though was the trade with Jacksonville and Cleveland.
Yeah, I was
For
not
Jacksonville to
expecting
get
that.
Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
I really wasn't expecting that.
Mm-mm. But if you want our live thoughts and reactions, you can go watch the live stream. I know it's 3 hours long, but it was good. It was a good live stream. We had fun. We'll see when next we'll do another live stream, but definitely not. We're not doing it for the rest of the draft. We don't really got the time, unfortunately. But it was a good live stream. If you want to check out all our thoughts, check it out. Because we had a decent amount of stuff to say. So
Yeah. While we're still on the topic of football,
segues.
The Arlington Renegades played last weekend against the St. Louis Battlehawks,
Mm-hmm.
and the Arlington Renegades won 30-15. I didn't watch that game though. I couldn't watch that game.
Yeah, me neither, unfortunately. But I think that brings us to 3-2 record,
3-1.
3-1 record, even better.
Yeah, Arlington's 3-1.
Yeah.
Their only loss came against San Antonio.
Mhm.
Yes, San Antonio.
Yeah,
I believe.
so 2 pretty decent wins by a good margin. 1 close win and 1 close loss. So, I mean, the Renegades are rolling pretty well. I've only been able to watch 1 game in its completion, but
Yeah.
I mean, they're rolling pretty good. And if you like, it's definitely worth watching games. I just haven't had the time, really, especially trying to watch all of these games. But
Their next game is in 2 days
next game is in 2 days
against the DC Defenders.
on Sunday.
Yes, April 27th at 11 a.m.
Amen. But yeah, I mean, if you have the time, if you're free on Sunday at 11, which you should be at church. No, if you're free on Sunday at 11, check it out because going to the
Go
games
support
is
the
fun.
Renegades.
Go support the Renegades, and if not, check them out on TV. They I think have deals with ESPN, so they'll be on TV.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're actually shown on Fox.
Yeah, on
I
Fox.
thought I especially thought since this is since the UFL is trying to come up, I definitely thought they wouldn't be televised on like Fox and all that.
Yeah, no, I mean Dwayne's got some pull, you know.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Not even joking. Dwayne's got some pull.
That's right.
So.
I forgot Dwayne was the president or
One of those guys.
Yeah.
He's an important guy. But yeah.
And this is actually good football to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's actually really entertaining. It's really
It's not
definitely not NFL caliber, but it's
definitely
there.
doesn't feel rigged though, like how some people like to point out for the NFL games.
Yeah. It's really entertaining. So check it out. And the Renegades are doing good. So you're a Dallas sports fan, check them out and cheer them on. I haven't kept up with soccer this week. I know that the FC Dallas is 3-3. They should play again this weekend. So they're not really doing hot. They're towards I think 9th on the table, but like I don't know anything about their games. And then I unfortunately haven't been able to keep up with DTFC. I know last time I checked they were doing pretty well, fighting for the top spot on the table. But they play again tomorrow, Saturday. So we'll see. I'll check in on them this week, and I'll definitely report on them because the season's getting closer to the end of it. And they're fighting for the top spot, so should definitely report on that. But I don't really got a big update this week for soccer. Yeah, and I think that's everything.
Yeah. No, I think that's everything.
I think that's everything. So to recap, watch some hockey. Stars play on Saturday. We should Stars in 6. Mavs. We'll see what happens in free agency. Hopefully Kyrie comes back. Maybe they throw us a bone and we get the top spot. We got the 11th best odds. It's not the worst odds in the league.
I think somehow Mavericks might be
top 3.
top 5 pick, and I say they probably get the 5th pick.
Okay. There you go.
Somehow,
Official
maybe.
prediction. They rig it,
Yeah,
and we get top 5 pick.
might
official
as
prediction
well
from Isaiah.
rig it all the way and give the Mavs the 1st round
Yeah.
pick.
It's a lottery. It happens sometimes, doesn't it? Yeah. Official prediction from Isaiah. The Mavs rig it, get a top 3 picks. Rangers, hopefully we get back on the horse, especially against the A's at home. The San Francisco series is going to be a tough one. And the Cowboys, we'll see what they do for the rest of the draft, but I'm actually pretty excited because of how the first round went. And I think that's what we're going to call it. Unless you got anything to add?
No, I think that was everything.
Great.
Pretty much covered.
This has been Intermission, man. I'm Fabian. It's Isaiah. Had some fun. If you like the episode, like, share, subscribe, comment, do all the fun stuff. Check us out on Instagram. We're going to try to start posting there a little bit more. And we might start posting videos besides the podcast to the YouTube channel as well. So keep an eye out for that. But also no promises. But hopefully we can work some stuff together. Yeah, we're just gonna be posting like grass cutting simulators. No, but we'll see if we can post some more content to the YouTube channel besides the podcast. And yeah, so yeah, check it out. Keep your eyes open and share it if you enjoyed. Hopefully we can get our name out there. Thanks for watching. Be back next week, same time. Well, maybe not same time. Friday afternoon, same-ish time. And yeah, thanks for watching.